Hello, and welcome to a scene for the Hong Kong game. Yay, Hong Kong game.
Yay.
Today, the mall is open late, so the people that tend to prefer to come out at night for health reasons have decided to go to the mall. And so has someone that is not quite so restricted. The mall is moderately busy, not as busy as it is on like weekends, but there's quite a few people out and about. The video arcade seems to have a bit of a crowd going on inside around one of the games, and the electronics stall has a sale on, but that's fairly normal. Generally, life is ticking on, with various people doing their usual various things.
Yay.
Yay!
Normal things.
Yeah. So basically, Jolie is, after finishing playing one of the arcades there, I don't know, this, I think there was a Street Fighter 4 for the arcade version, so he rocked the Chun-Li legs for whatever reason. He goes out to go to the bookstore to see whatever manga or manhwa he can find and just browse through the booklets, essentially.
Riker will be walking around, hit the bookstore. Not really, just basically window shopping, reading a few of manga. He's on and off advertising for his nightclub, and just indulging in one of his very nerdy vices, and just reading in Naruto.
Mm. And for some odd reason, Julie looks over and is looking to see at what chapter you've gone to. Or if you have gotten to the Gaiden version yet or not.
Out of character, the player does not really read the manga, but he did watch the Shippuden.
Okay.
So
basically,
the character.
So basically, to put things into perspective, the manga itself is kind of over, but the artist started making the Gaiden version for when after Shippuden is over, with the offspring of everyone.
Oh, okay.
So the answer is no, he hasn't got that far yet.
No. The answer is no. So he's still, at least, I'm just going to say he's on the trailing end of Shippuden. Due to his busy nightclub life.
Yeah.
Well, I say nightclub. It turned into a nightclub / strip club last night, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, no worries. Jolie is like rolling his eyes, slow reader, and get back to his manga.
Jolie actually probably be also kind of intrigued that a white boy is actually reading the manga in the original language, the right way.
You're reading it in Japanese in former Chinese. Okay, never mind. Again, rolling his eyes.
There is no reason that they wouldn't have they wouldn't have English, Japanese, and possibly Cantonese versions in this particular store.
Oh,
Okay,
they do.
okay,
They do.
I'll just okay. Let me scratch that. He's reading the Cantonese version.
Okay, that's it doesn't matter anyway. So still,
Yeah.
the reaction is more like rolling his eyes because of the chapter he's on, that he hasn't gone to the Gaiden volumes yet. So.
Dextra is going to kind of squeeze her way out from where she was playing on one of the video games, trying to avoid the people that are going, "Wow, got the high score." And she's like, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good like that. Yeah.
It's gonna kind of drag her way out of the arcades and hurriedly hide across the street in the comic book store, having a bit of a poke around while she's waiting for the crowd to dissipate so she can try and we'll figure out what she wants to play next. She's poking around the titles, but she doesn't really seem to know what she's looking for, or half the time even at.
And of course, Jolie actually notices the chick that has this high score higher than his.
We have a
Hey,
rivalry.
there's a
here?
whole bunch of games over there. You're perfectly welcome to have high score on some of the games.
Yeah, but the way he's like some kind of pride, and he has curiosity, so he kind of wants to go to her. Hey there, are you looking for something in particular?
I don't know. Something fun? She honestly does. She doesn't look entirely like she has a great deal to do with manga. She's probably seen more anime than she's read manga, to be honest.
She's not a comic book nerd. She's a video game nerd.
Yeah.
She's hiding out in the comic book store.
Yeah. Just yeah, depending on your idea of fun. So I'm just trying to figure out a are you more geared towards action, drama, historical, plots?
Well, I kind of liked Warren High School Host Club and Vampire High, and the Cross Academy was quite cool. I don't know.
Did she just really cite most the vampire-related genre comic books?
Yeah.
Really?
The Warren High School Host Club is completely
Yeah.
non-fantasy. They're all human.
Yeah, exactly. They mostly deal with cross-dressing there.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of
Yeah.
cross-dressing.
Yeah, a lot of hentai.
No, not
no,
hentai.
that's not
It's
hentai.
pure Shonen style stuff,
Yeah. So,
and some reverse harem.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely reverse harem.
Well,
But-
quite a lot of reverse harem. Yeah.
yeah, it was fun when it lasted. So, now that particularly Oran High School has ended its run in the comics, even though in anime they didn't get to that end point. So, kind of interesting. Although technically, I prefer the Helsing manga that they adapted in both.
Is that the one with the guy that has the giant hat and the really giant gun? And you're like, Why does the gun have to be so big?
Well, he has two guns, and then he has kind of like a little vampire that he kind of made that has a giant ass cannon that kind of from time to time switches out for giant ass machine guns that are bigger than her.
Seems a bit excessive. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you want to get some high gear, that's fine, but size isn't everything.
I know, right? Seriously.
Not to mention, couldn't they get interesting with the bullets?
And I don't know, the best part of it wasn't when he shot the guns. It was more like when he released his restrictions. That was always cool. And then,
Remind me, what were the restriction things again?
well, it was restrictions to his power, so to speak. So when he lowered them, he got access to more crazy-ass abilities. And like making shadows and having eyes pop out of shadows, and then doggies come out of said shadows with eyes, and
Dogs?
yeah, dogs.
Don't dogs usually have eyes?
Yeah, but not so many. You'd think only two were enough, but
Oh,
no. He keeps on going with the eyes. I mean, as much as the shadow is cast upon the wall, you can see almost every inch of it having eyes. It was kind of creepy.
again with the kind of overkill.
I know. But when he got to zero, seriously, that was the most interesting bit. Kind of just summoned the armies of darkness out of him. Which most likely were zombies that he kind of sucked all of the blood out of them, but hey, they were on horseback, a lot of them.
So what, he went killing a load of horses as well?
Yeah, horses, even the other vampire type mutants that he kind of fought before, and apparently absorbed even their superpowers, which is kind of neat. And
Yeah.
he kind of made them fight for him, and it was like pretty epic when he got to zero. Because when he got to zero, almost all London was filled with those corpses, and
What, the whole of London?
all of London. It was like rivers of blood splashing in all directions. And out of the river of blood came out the corpses.
Right, surely somebody would have done something about that.
Well, they were in the middle of a war zone fighting mutant vampire Nazis, and then there were the Inquisition.
Right, I think I'm just going to pass on that one with the mutant vampire Nazis.
Yeah, I know, that was a bit too excessive. But fairly amusing when you actually watch it.
But yeah, if you're going to talk tech, instead of giant guns, why not go down the underworld route and they've got like those little UV bullets? They'll always look cool.
Oh yeah, I don't know why, but I kind of like the first two Underworld movies compared to the other two that came out. Seriously, a lot better made. Not sure why, but at least that's how I kind of like them. Because, I don't know, when they got to the whole, hey, there were dark ages and this is how they all began, and the way it was made, I was kind of rolling my eyes at the whole movie. I don't know how they could make Dark Ages boring, but they kind of did.
Most of the
Especially,
Dark Ages probably was pretty boring, to be fair.
but with vampires and werewolves and shit. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but you said making the Dark Ages boring. It's like
Yeah,
several hundred years, and most of it, for most of the people, is just kind of digging in the dirt and stuff.
yeah. But it's a movie. They shouldn't make movies boring. At least that's the whole premise of it, and not an action movie for crying out loud. Seriously, action movies. They shouldn't be boring. If you're going for a drama, then yes, I'd say totally go for it. Make it as boring as you want. Because then it's about the interpersonal connections and nothing else. And if that's
Ooh.
your
I totally know what I should get while I'm here.
Ooh.
Ghost in the Machine. That's always cool. Just gonna wander off in the direction of the kind of the DVD section. Most of it's comics and manga and all of those kind of things, but they will end up having a little section of animes because it makes money.
Oh, if you like Ghost in the Machine, try Ghost in the Shell. It has a new anime OVAs that popped up recently called Arise. That was fun. I kind of liked the Arise. I don't know why they had to make another series that was basically still Arise, but with a few more minutes of thingy of screen time. I didn't get that. Still, fun series to watch.
She's just gonna shrug and start picking through the DVDs.
Personally, I kind of like the first Ghost in the Shell best, and then Arise. I don't know. The first Ghost in the Shell was the most philosophical of them all.
Is Riker still reading through his Naruto?
Oddly enough, the stack of manga just grew while y'all were talking, and y'all don't. There's no reason how that it would have grown, because it didn't look like he moved. But he's basically now reading Helsing.
Yeah, by the way.
Wonder why.
Wonder why. But yeah.
He's a comic book nerd, and due to his nightclub, he's actually had to forego his manga collection for a little while. And this is like the only time he's actually gotten away from the club, and he's just reading. Oddly enough, to Dexterra, he's actually looks like one of those people that you wouldn't see reading a manga. Oddly enough.
Fair enough.
Yep.
But he's just sitting there reading, and like he hasn't even been disturbed by y'all. He's just sitting there.
Oh yeah. And he's like, if we're going on another type of manga that well, you said that you kind of like the techno ones, and that you've
Them
gone.
and vampires and romance.
I know a kick-ass techno one that I've seen recently as an anime, although that's not a manga, but I know that Gachan crowds was pretty interesting for me. And I know that they have a second season now.
As long as it's not one of the Gundam type techno ones.
No, this is more like, hey, we're superheroes that kind of have a super suit, but not the big ones. You know, the regular ones, and they have weapons, but they generally don't fight as often as they should. They mostly try to say something about elevating humanity so that they have a better revolution in technology, you know. But they can't fight alien beings, which is kind of interesting if you think about it.
Right.
Yeah, I know. When you have to explain manga to another person, it just comes out that way. Still, hey, the main heroine that is there was pretty entertaining with the way she kind of solves her problems. You'd think she's insane, and from time to time you think that she kind of read the script beforehand, but when she actually pulls off her solutions, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Okay, well, I'll give that one a check out.
And another interesting one about technology was Serial Experiments Lane. It's kind of an old one, but a personal favorite of mine. It explores how digitization affects your mind.
Okay, well, I will check that one out probably next time I drop by, which seems to be getting increasingly common. You know, usually you could just play games and nobody would pay any attention, but people seem to, you know, watch other people play games more here than they did back home.
I don't know why. Generally, I never played that competitive as you did. I just played for the fun of it. I don't know, maybe because you just played better than other people, that's why they're paying attention to you. They need to up their game.
She just
Okay.
shrugs.
Riker will come up, walking up with a bag in his hand. That's partly why I actually play my PlayStation 1 at home.
Yeah, but it's not the same as arcade games. I mean, it's good, and you know, you've got a good variety of different consoles, and computers are even better. But sometimes you just wanna play a classic game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because it's sort of like having a different feel when you're standing up and hitting the buttons on the arcade stick.
Plus, don't really have the space at the moment for one of the big kind of racing gigs.
Okay.
You know, the ones with like the whole bikes built into them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Huh. Usually apartments around here aren't that big. Hmm.
Oh, you'd be surprised. My more technical savvy friends can get really elaborate with their creations.
Maybe. Although I haven't met any people that are as technical savvy as I'd like to, because I'd actually get.
Well, which kind of technical savvy? Because there's all sorts of different kinds. I mean, Video games are completely different to if you're trying to set up a website, or if you're programming, or if you're trying to set up like a security system, or just assemble a computer. All kinds of different things.
I actually have a lot of. I have a friend that's actually in all the fields of technology.
Well, presumably not all of them, because I mean things like developing new laser surgeries. They're very specialist kind of subjects, and their technology.
He's trying to break into that one actually. Last time I talked to him on the phone.
Okay, and what about DNA sequencing?
I don't think he's gotten into that one yet, but I really don't want to see him go into it because he can be very, very scary with some of his ideas. And
Yeah.
letting him near a DNA sequencing code would just very, very beg for Jurassic Park.
I have sometimes wondered if there would be a way to kind of hack DNA, but
Like how?
I don't know. I mean, like, you think about all the different kinds of coding, and if you applied the same kind of theory to genetics, would that work?
Yeah. Uh, like I said, the friend of mine, I actually broke into the DNA sequencing code that it would just beg for Jurassic Park to be born.
Yeah, the thing I never got about that is why they kept making female dinosaurs. I mean, if
They
you
would
want to make
think,
all the dinosaurs the same gender and not have babies, you're going to want to go with the males. Because female lizards can have eggs sometimes just by themselves anyway.
yeah, that's partly what Ian Malcolm said in the original old school one. And the paleontologist dude actually said there were some frogs, and when they were they were using the genetic sequence code from the frog. Some frogs actually could switch from male to female.
Yeah, I mean, some of them can switch genders, but even the ones that can't switch genders, like monitor lizards, female monitor lizard can have male eggs. No real reason, just by themselves.
Yeah.
So it never made sense to me. Because
Um.
it's a lot harder changing from male to female than it is from female to male.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't happen with like some fish and stuff, but they're mostly internal to begin with.
Yeah. I always wondered about fish, but most of the time when I try to read up on them, I always have my attention span always goes short on me, and I go find something else.
Yeah, fish aren't the most interesting things, but you can build some really cool screensavers around them.
Oh yeah, true. Especially if you're not in your right state of mind at the time, and you're just sitting there watching it.
No, I was talking about building them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are kind of cool to watch. So, you said you were trying to look for more people that were into technology type stuff. What kind of ones were you thinking of?
I actually was thinking of more along the lines of computers because I'm wanting to see if I can try and revamp my computer system at my nightclub.
Oh, cool. I mean, what kind of a system do you have at the moment? And have you put in a T1 line? Although I hear T3s are all the rage these days.
Uh, out of character. We hadn't hashed that part out yet. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, right now, I had my friend set it up, but he's been looking into helping find somebody to probably correspond with to revamp everything. He's always wanting to keep everything up to date and upgraded. I keep saying, "Can you do this on the cheap?" And he keeps saying, "Yes, I can."
Define
So
cheap. That is the question. Because I mean, doing it on the cheap, you've got all sorts of different options where you can kind of get the components and stuff and put them together yourself and save a lot of money that way. But it doesn't change the fact that you still need to buy like the high-end components if you want a high-end machine. And if
yeah,
so it all depends on what kind of performance you're looking for.
um, right now my biz the customer flow is actually picking up, so I'm looking to actually get everything faster.
Well, then you're definitely going to want to look at your line.
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly, fiber optics, they'll do the job, but if you're looking at the higher speeds, you're going to want to go T1, T3.
All right.
But they do
He
cost more. Because obviously, if you're getting yourself a dedicated line rather than a shared line, it's going to cost more.
Obviously.
um, here, let me give you my card, and we can probably talk shop more at my club.
Oh, cool.
And
Thanks.
he gives you his card. It says Riker Lynch, owner of uh, the Emerald Mother nightclub slash strip club.
Oh, I had some friends back in England that were into this kind of stuff.
Oh, apparently, I was originally going for just a nice dance nightclub, and it kind of grew into strippers.
Well, my friends tended to do pornos, so.
I I've heard a buddy of mine, his cousin actually started his own porno company.
Yeah, they made it pay. Well, I say they made it. They made all the content, and I put together the site for them, and they ran a pay-to-view thingy.
Ah, a lot of I've looked at this buddy's site, and a lot of the stuff I was not really into.
No, I don't really get it either. But you know, if that's the way that some people decide to make money, then whatever.
Yeah, I'm just the figurehead behind a business in my mind. It
Cool.
just
Well,
it just so happens my business deals with girls dancing, mostly taking their clothes off, but just dancing.
okay. Well, and she'll pull a notepad out of her pocket and scribble down a email address on it and hand it over. If you
All
need
right.
any kind of advice and stuff, just drop me a mail.
Actually, are you actually looking for a job?
I guess. But I kind of have stuff that I need to do during the day, so it kind of restricts my hours a bit.
Uh, most most of the stuff I'm actually will have lulls in my customer flow to where you could probably work at night.
Cool. Well, I'll check out and see whether I can get the time. But if you let me know roughly when you're thinking of,
Oh,
I'm not that
uh,
great with regular jobs because stuff comes up, but I can try
yeah.
and work it out.
Well, you seem like a nice person as well. I actually I'd be more. You probably can contact me more at about nightfall at 2 o'clock,
Mm,
and
yeah.
we can set something up.
I know the whole deal with working the night shift. I kind of have to do that as well. He rolls his eyes and looks at the next manga.
Yeah, I actually missed my old collection, so I was a little bit into reading for a minute, and I almost lost track of time.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm totally open to trying to find a job. Well, I'm kind of working out at the moment with some of the people that I live with about when I'm going to be able to get out and do work and stuff. So yeah, if you've got an idea, just throw it my way and I'll see if I can work it in
All right.
because I could really kind of use getting some money in. I mean, at the moment, the place practically on dial-up. It's ridiculous.
Oh
Uh,
wow, really?
Well,
that
it's
I
would
not
thought.
quite that bad, but you know, I used to have a T1 line just for me, and it's feels like going back to the dark ages. It really does.
I was about to say, isn't that dial-up extinct?
It is. Like I said, I may be exaggerating a little bit. It feels so slow.
uh, well,
Yeah.
technically, I know a few people that actually still use dial-up, which is to my shame.
They were
Uh,
using dial-up before I arrived.
What?
what's that roll for?
Uh, I was actually doing perception keying on Deb to see if she had any magical items on her.
Um,
Uh,
define magical items.
um, mm, she
Anything
doesn't.
that anything that pings supernatural that my senses are probably going off.
Okay, well, with a roll like that, it's probably only very minor
Okay.
because it's more like the residue of magic and the potential of magic. Um,
Mhm.
but she does have a bracelet with some rather interesting red beads on it.
Yeah,
Ah.
and you'd see sense that on Jolie there should be a dagger that has some magical residue.
All right.
Like I said, probably it's not gonna show up, but then again, she kind of might. I don't know.
Yeah.
She'd probably, if she is showing up, she'd probably be, he'd probably see it in chimerical reality.
Mm, both of us are boring, so because of our high
Well, I mean,
dynamic,
it's just that she is a thaumaturgist,
a
Yeah,
which is blood
technomancer,
magic.
a
So I don't know how
and
much that
technomancer.
would show up.
she uses her blood magic though for with technology. So if it did
Yeah,
show up, it just looked gray, and both y'all in chimerical reality are looking gray anyway.
Yeah. Whereas the beads on her bracelet will kind of look a bit kind of extra red. I mean, they're red to begin with, but extra red.
yeah, and the dagger that he has, yeah, that has death energy in it. So
Okay, yeah, definitely the Riker's curiosity flaw is picking on both off of both of you. but he'll just glance over. Where is the dagger located on Jolie?
Somewhere around his waist, but you don't see it because it's in one of the pockets.
He glance over at one of your pants pockets, and he just look at the bracelet on Dexterra's wrist, and he goes, "That's a very interesting crafted bracelet on you have there. Who made it?"
Oh, thanks. I kind of got the beads online and then I assembled them and kind of put them
Oh,
together.
I would
It's like
probably
it's like one of the charm bracelets that you get where they all slide onto the basic bracelet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like those, but it's the beads that are shiny, not the bracelet as a whole.
He is eyeing the beads for a second, and I'm probably I could roll Greymere, intelligence Greymere, but I know I'm probably not going to recognize the magic on them anyway.
Probably not. It is thaumaturgy rituals, so.
It
Yeah.
Yeah, if I did, it'd probably be more along the lines if I had recognized them, I'd have to have like remembrance, and I don't have remembrance with this character.
Fair enough.
That or actually having any idea on thaumaturgy magic, but it's a new character, so I got it.
Yeah, and he's not that old yet.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'll probably drop you a line on some ideas I have. Or at least I'll probably give you my friend's contact information when I get a hold of him again.
Cool.
Although now it's my turn, I use one yin chi to pop up a deaf site, and then one yang chi to pop up life site. Because someone
You
mentioned.
you probably get once you hit life sight on one of us, you'll probably almost go blind.
Because changelings are a lot of yang.
Yeah, and this he's a wilder, so it's even brighter.
And vampires are a lot of yin.
Yeah, when I put deaf side, I see the yin in you, and the life side, I see the yang in you. So it's like, huh, okay. He doesn't say
Basically,
anything.
with life sight, you actually see there's a lot of life in Riker, and with the death sight, you see Dexterra
Yeah.
with the same way.
With deaf, I see that Dexter has way too much yin than normal. So.
Yep. If a normal human had this much yin, they'd probably be feeling somewhat suicidal, but she looks quite cheery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Very.
So it's he's struggling because this is like the fuck.
And he probably more than likely would be struggling considering these are like two polar extreme opposites, and they're talking to each other and you.
Yeah, and well, the life site one, you kind of expected it to be like this, because, oh, he knows people that have too much yang energy, but yin ones, this, especially
This is the first for him.
the way Deb is pinging, it's sort of like reminds him of his mentor level of yin. So, yeah. And now you can see
Reminds him of what?
his mentor. He is a bone flower for aka Song of Shadow. He's a that's why he is nine banality, because he studies death.
Yeah.
Here is someone looking very alive, but with lots of death in her.
Yeah, so he is struggling to think of the right word, but
And actually, you may see even more at her bracelet. Not more than is in her, but just some in her bracelet. I don't know how it works.
either yin
Out of
or
character,
yang.
what is the effect on it?
But I'm just not sure whether you see basically yin energy and yang energy in general, or whether
Well-
it's just in people.
Well, it's like if I put a death site, I see the ghosts, vampires, anyone that has this kind of a death type feel to it. Even Kuei Jin that are yin aspect. And kind of see the Shadowlands, sort of.
So
When I-
yeah, no, the bracelet probably wouldn't show up.
So when I pop up a Yang, I mean a life site, I see the werewolves, the magi, the changelings when they pop up, because they have a lot of Yang type energy in them.
Hmm.
You're
So-
basically seeing both sides. Can you see true form with life side and death side, or just you see the life and death energy?
It's more like I can tell the energy type, because I popped up both in turn. So I see that one of them has way too much, aka those that I've experienced so far. And of course, Kuei Jin can be, depending on which path of enlightenment they've got, be aspected towards either life or death, or both, if they're balanced.
You can safely assume Riker may be changeling because his life energy is like all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that or a shifter, but yes, probably.
Yeah.
Probably, well, not just probably. You know that stuff is going on. Detail.
Well,
Yeah, you know these people are not normal.
Yep.
They're
So,
your
how are
normal.
you going to react?
Well, I'm going to. He's going to say out loud, huh, interesting.
What is?
Yeah.
Mm, do you know the philosophies of Tai Chi?
Not really. I mean, a bit, the basics.
Yeah, the whole yin and yang thing.
Well, yeah, that kind of comes under mysticism. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason you appear to be more yin aspected, and points to Dextra, and you appear to be more yang aspected. than usual. I'm not sure why. Although now I'm hungry.
You are a friend.
Like, I look black or something?
No. It's
But like, yin isn't that kind of depressive energy?
yeah, and why? Because it's like for some reason you're very very cheery, but your your aura is very very
Wait,
not.
you're looking at my aura or something right now?
Yeah. Can't you do it?
Hold up.
Isn't that kind of like going around and secretly peeking at people's diaries or something?
That's mine.
What's this? Oh,
I can't do that. You know, mind reading.
Well, like reading people's auras, isn't that kind of like reading information about them and stuff? I don't know.
it's
Not really.
basically like you're you're looking at them, but looking through them at the same time.
More like verifying their bioenergy to
So like
figure out
X-ray vision.
bioenergy. Sort of, but not really. It's more like to determine whether or not people are suicidal or too happy or something. You know?
Right.
Although I'm not sure why you appear like you're going to commit suicide in any moment. Strange.
Just because out of character, this conversation is going straight into the supernatural, and Riker is kind of getting paranoid right now.
Yeah, he's not the only one.
He's activating. He's activating chicanery.
What does that do?
Hold on. And I have to look because I have it at 3.
Wow, 3 levels. Okay. Character creation. Okay.
Hey, his points went elsewhere. Thank you.
Okay. Not judging. Not judging at all.
Right, I don't even know what chicanery is, so you might want to...
It's an art.
It's an art to at low levels can actually muffle sound. But just realizing doing it, I'm probably going to have to do it on everyone else that may be around us because doing it on y'all would probably be impossible.
You might want to use scene if you want to do it around.
Yeah, and I'm just realizing that too, and I don't have scene. I have actor.
Okay, but actor only works on supernaturals, and you kind of need scene to actually affect an area.
Yeah.
Right, so... Whilst he's kind of looking fidgety and trying to decide what to say, and Dexter's feeling entirely put on the spot with this whole kind of weirdness going on.
How about we take this back to my club so this is private conversation because this is getting a little bit too close to home, so to speak.
Although I'm not sure if sure, why not? And he goes.
Or,
pays for his manga.
Or, if there's kind of, if we'd rather go somewhere that's kind of neutral, there's a coffee shop down the street that is closed, but they've got a really basic alarm thingy.
All right, that works too.
Still paying for my manga though, because that's not
Yeah.
cool if I just leave without paying.
So once everybody has bought what they're planning on buying,
Yeah.
and you've shuffled down the street, and Dexter has quietly broken into this coffee shop.
At this point, out of character, the player is actually happy that he did not give this character wings due to doors.
Mm-hmm.
No, she hasn't damaged anything. She's just quietly broken into this coffee shop.
Yeah, I understand. It's a changing thing with the wings.
Okay.
Yeah, winged merit or flaw, even in mundane reality, I still have to keep I would have to still keep chimerical relationship with them, and that also means, oh yeah, I gotta walk sideways through a door.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Even if they don't show, and with them not showing up in mundane reality.
Okay. So we've all got into this this coffee shop that's got the front all closed up, and the keypad on the door. She's just kind of put the right thing in. Second try. In they go.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Alarm turned off. Lights on. Not making a mess though.
Yeah.
He's not planning to unless you guys start making coffee or whatever.
Oh, I've actually there was references in the other video that coffee's banal.
Probably is. Tea's probably neutral.
Yeah.
Herbal
Yeah.
tea is probably better than black tea.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hot chocolate is always good.
Very.
But yeah, so she's going to sit down at one of the seats.
Riker will sit down as well.
And Jolie will sit down.
Okay, so I can obviously say that almost, pretty much, almost all of us know that we're something. We just don't know what we are.
Well, I know what I am.
Mm.
I meant
Horribly
each other.
Depressed. Horribly depressed.
So I guess I can introduce myself first. Riker, I'm a changeling.
Changeling. Right, that's the fairies in the cups. Yeah, right.
Kind of. Uh, think more along the lines of Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
Yeah, like elves and kind of brownies and all sorts, right?
Yes, right.
Right. Okay. Um, and you're in the cups ones, right?
Uh, think more highborn.
No, I mean at the council-y thing. You're in the cups ones, right? Because I think I'm supposed to be in the staff ones, which works really cool because I quite like staffs.
Oh, hey, he goes, about the council, I haven't actually gone.
Me neither.
Well, that's because
Well,
there
I
is
only
no
arrived
meeting.
in town about a week ago, so you know.
Well,
Yeah,
that's because the once a month meeting hasn't started yet. Uh,
yeah, that and I've actually, uh, well, I was born changeling, but my dad's something else. But, so I guess I'd be in two spots?
depends.
Well,
We'll
I
have
mean,
to.
not just if your dad's something else, surely.
We'll
I
have
I
hang
to.
out
mean,
with them a
my
lot.
parents were human. That doesn't really mean anything.
I kind of hang out with my dad's family a lot.
Okay.
My parents were human up to the point they're dead now. But yeah.
Yeah, mine kind of died when I was 6.
Mine died recently in a car accident. I technically died too, but I'm here.
I,
That's always a good thing, though, isn't it?
yeah,
Sorta. Kinda. Not really.
I mean, the being here bit.
Ah, yeah, totally. I'm just a lot more hungrier than before.
I
Yeah.
I had I kind of feel left out now. I kind of didn't die by any means coming into this.
Well, it's kind of debatable if you end up dying anyway. So does that mean you're a vampire?
Kuijin.
Right. So the
The
slightly
East.
odd zombie vampire thingies that
Yeah,
live around here?
yeah.
Okay.
And technically, I'm not allowed to take any seat. I just supervise. Unless someone votes me on one of the neutral seats, then I do take a seat. But other than
Apparently,
that,
I'd make a good devil, but I kind of have to work out that kind of thing.
fair enough. Still,
I don't know. I mean, Lucifer used to be an angel and all that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah. But then again, I don't want to meet Lucifer, if at all possible.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on which version you read, because sometimes it's just like he kind of misbehaved and was too good at tempting people, and God got really jealous and was like, "No, no, I don't want you doing that anymore. You go to hell."
I
Yeah.
heard rumors that supposedly he's still walking around, but that's just a rumor.
No idea.
No idea whatsoever.
Yeah, like I said, it's just rumors I heard from my kind, and they said they heard it from other people.
Okay.
Well, I
Never
get that.
found it. Never found out, but it was it interests people to try and look.
So, what
Oddly,
kind of a fairy are you? I mean, do you like have wings and stuff, or do you kind of, I don't know, um,
uh,
turn into a
don't
tree?
I
Um,
don't have wings. Um, I don't have the ability to shapeshift, but I know people that do.
so can you like grant wishes and things? I don't really know much about fairies.
Uh, I, uh, there's a possibility if I got older. I'm not
Okay.
strictly sure.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of old yet either.
Neither am
God.
I. Seriously.
uh, Technically, I'm only like 21. Technically.
Well, I
So
am.
by technically, do you mean that's kind of how old you actually are? Or do you mean that's not how old you are, but it means something else?
Normally.
Or
Normally, like every day.
okay. So why then
um,
technically, and what's the other
uh,
thing?
I just let it needless to say, I in my society, I'd be only a teenager.
Hmm.
That makes sense. Sort of, I think. Kind of like how we end up basically kind of having to start over learning all kinds of new stuff. And
Exactly.
then even though you're like 20 to begin with, you end up going right back to the beginning, and then 2 or 3 years later, and you're still only kind of teenagery-ish. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just Yeah, you can say that. I just recently met one of my distant cousins, and he stupidly referenced himself as a sex god.
Wow. Wow.
Right after the fact that one of my my girls actually, I found out was an intern of, uh, I'm just going to say out of character, Ian's character. I Supposedly Ian's character is a corporate CEO of a big security company.
Mm.
Tigress Securities or something like that.
Uh, yeah, and she like she did the whole flirty goodbye thing to him, and he like got all butthurt that she didn't do it. She didn't say goodbye to him. It was funny.
Yeah.
Mm.
Some
She,
people do
I,
like to kind of think that it's all about them.
she obviously didn't do it to me for obvious reasons because she works for me.
Okay.
I kind of keep my that sort of thing separate in my at my club. No fraternizing with the employees.
Well, yeah, but if she was doing it to peeve off the other guy, then it would just be kind of friendly joke thing rather than actual flirting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah, it would. Uh, it would be. It's just with her, the way she is with men, she would mean it.
Oh. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, she. I kind of. My bouncers have caught her more than once making out with the customer.
Isn't that kind of bad?
Let's just put it this way: she's on final notice.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
She hasn't done it since, but she's still on final notice until told otherwise.
Mm-hmm. I can see that happening.
But yeah, and what's even funnier, he's the head of the local brothel.
So
Wow.
he would just kind of say, "Here's my card, meet me at the brothel."
Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't that make
It's,
more sense than getting in trouble over making out in a club?
that's what I told her more than once, and that's why she's on final warning.
Okay.
And what's funny is she's one of my one of my dad's side of the family, and she's been told, uh, had told to keep it in her pants more than once.
But she works at a brothel.
She works at my strip club.
Yeah, but you said she also works at the brothel.
No, my cousin from my mom's side of the family I just met is the head of the brothel. Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was kind of funny to watch him squirm like that. Don't tell him that I said that if you ever meet him.
Sure. Okay. By any chance, does he turn into a mountain lion? Just out of curiosity.
I'm not have the privilege to say that.
Hmm.
Wait,
Okay.
so people turn into mountain lions here?
I know
Weird.
one person that turned into a mountain lion and declared that he's a changeling. So I'm not sure if it's the
Wait,
same person.
The changeling turned into a mountain lion.
Yeah.
See, now I'd heard that there was some weird and unusual different kinds of werewolves here, but now the fairies are doing it too?
Apparently, but he kind of told all of us at the council to turn away when he did it. So
And Riker just sits there and face palms. Damn it.
what?
Wait, can you turn into a mountain lion?
I don't know how to do that, but like I said, I knew some people that can do that.
So can they change into all kinds of different things?
Again, don't know how to do that, but there are people that can.
So like the guy that turns into a mountain lion, he could turn into a mouse. Because if
From what
like he's really interested in all of these different things and runs a brothel and something, we'd have to be really careful to keep him out of the changing rooms and stuff. If he could turn into a mouse.
he has from what I gather, he's trying to become part of my dad's side of the family, because he's kind of he's got a crush on this one girl.
Right, a girl who's on your dad's side of the family.
Yeah, he wants to.
What's your dad's side of the family again? Apart from the fact that your stripper club owner person belongs to your dad's side of the family and can't work for the mum side, and it's confusing.
I know.
Like
Wait. He has a crush on a girl
yeah.
that's on your.
Actually, let me retcon that because I don't know it that far in. Actually, yeah. Wait, yeah, I do. He said that in character. Hey, yeah, he's kind of wanting. He's got a thing for this one girl, and my dad's side of the family kind of is a little bit stringent on who kind of picky on who they give their blessing to date.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't judge on these things because, people have to make money somehow and stuff. But a lot of people don't really like people that are involved with brothels.
Uh, most most of my dad's side of the family would probably be applauding that.
Oh, okay. So what's the problem then? Especially
Uh,
telling your worker that's on your dad's side of the family that may or may not be related to this girl that the guy is interested in, that she should keep it in her pants rather than work at a brothel.
yeah.
Although now I'm confused as well. So
Yes.
She's part of my dad's side of the family, but she's very, very distant cousin of mine. She's
Okay.
like she's in a different branch of my family.
So your distant cousin works in your strip club. Okay.
Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds.
Okay. Well,
okay.
I guess it's an unusual family business.
Uh, well, this is kind of separate side venture, and she just went, "Hey, can I work at your club?" I'm like, "Okay, as what? Stripper?" And he just face face palms at the last part to signify what his response was.
Okay. Where?
Right. So your distant cousin on your dad's side is somehow similar to the girl that your cousin on your mum's side fancies.
Well, my cousin on my mom's side
Okay.
is a dude,
Yeah.
and
That's yeah. I get that bit. So your mum's side is the fairy side and has the mountain lion guy.
yeah,
Your dad's side, still don't know what they are, but they're presumably something else. Let's think. They're not going to
they're
be
very
not going to be vampires because you don't really get many kind of family thing. I mean, you do get families, but they're kind of more um, thingy. So it's probably not vampires. And what are the you said Kuei Jin thingies? What do you guys have in terms of family?
Uh, family. He's looking like the fuck. Hold on, hold on, hold on. We
I'm trying to work out what the dad side of the family is. I'm pretty sure it's not
well,
vampires. I don't know enough about Kuei Jin to know what the your family things are like.
okay.
It's
When we
probably
die,
not ghosts because they probably wouldn't make very good strippers.
when we die, we have a very, very, very high chance of not even getting in the same body, let alone being related to someone.
So it's probably not that. So it's not going to be ghosts.
he's very
I don't think
social,
it's going
but
to be demons. So, um, that kind of leaves the werewolves and the weird other werewolves that
he
aren't wolves.
just when you say werewolf, he just taps on the nose.
Oh,
Okay.
so your dad's a werewolf. Okay.
Yeah,
Is he a werewolf?
eh,
Is he one of the weird other kind of werewolves that don't change into wolves?
uh,
You mean the Hangeo
hold
Yeah,
on.
those ones.
Weird werewolves. Hey, his players need to roll for a second. Force and intelligence. Where did I put that?
I'm kind of just figuring that Dextra would know a little bit about lots of things because she's got occult traits,
Yeah.
so enough to kind of put things together. And
Um,
being the Tremere, she'd probably have been told about the Council of Cards
the
by one
weird,
of
the werecats.
Bastet.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Those
best.
things.
Oh,
Those
sorry, that was
things.
an out of character comment on the Bastet.
Okay. He just says the werecats.
So, like, your dad can turn into a mountain lion too? Or does he
No.
only do house cats?
He's basically saying. I'm trying to clarify what you mean by werewolves that don't change into wolves.
Oh, yeah, they change into other things.
Yeah, other animals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing.
I don't really know
Uh,
much about them yet, but there's kind of apparently a whole bunch of different ones, and they all have different attitudes. I kind of had to find out about them.
um. Uh, from what I heard, stay away from lizards.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
They like to hang out in the sunlight.
Well, okay.
It just give you a heads up. They like to hang out in the sunlight a lot.
Okay.
Really?
Uh, yeah, my
Yeah.
dad's a wolf. Well, he was. He got old, really old, from what I heard.
Okay.
He,
So, the mountain lion guy wants to hook up with a lady wolf?
yeah, and apparently he's done it once before.
Okay.
Mm.
So, why don't the wolves want the lady wolf to go out with the mountain lion fairy?
They, well, he way he could do it is basically he wants to. Uh, he's basically wanting to do this one thing to make him like more like me. But I was born uh, related to him. I'm
So what?
assuming.
Um, so it's like you can only marry your cousin, so he needs to become their cousin, and then
Uh,
everybody does hillbilly songs?
it basically it's kind of an odd system, but there has been instances that the wolves actually intermarried out of the society. Hence me.
Okay. This is all very confusing.
It
I
it
know.
it
I'm lost.
it, it doesn't happen often,
Right.
but it does happen most of the time because it's very frowned upon, and it was a yeah.
So he wants to join the family so he can hook up with his cousin, aunt, sister person.
He wants to do this. Well, that part I can probably retcon because I'm not sure if he actually said that in the scene. That part he just he basically says, well, he kind of wants to do this one thing out of New Orleans, and he wants. I'm assuming if this one thing involves this said girl that he wants to hook up with, and I know she is like my dad was, because I've seen her around, seen her around our little area of the world of Hong Kong.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
This sounds complicated.
It is.
Yes, it's
I was curious for one moment that about his side of the story, but now I'm just really, really confused.
needless to say. Don't ask about the Changeling Society. It's even worse.
So basically, what you're saying is it would make a really good, weird anime thing where everything goes haywire every episode, and it's
Yeah,
all
pretty.
about romance.
Yeah, pretty much,
Yeah.
and mix in daytime and soap operas,
Yeah.
and
Mm,
you pretty much got My Life.
okay. I gotcha. So,
But it
yeah.
actually is kind of fun. You learn some nifty stuff. I'm actually kind of exploring my dad's side of the family here of late, and we have they have apparently have a shindig going on sometime soon.
Cool.
Okay. I
Well,
thought
maybe
that.
the mountain lion dude can get an invite to the shindig thing and go dance with the lady wolf.
I'm
Is there
actually trying.
dancing?
Yeah, yeah. There's dancing, a lot of partying, some recreational alcohol drinking, and drug use sometimes.
Okay. I doubt that I will be invited, because I
No.
doubt I doubt because I already saw a few of the changers looking at me weird at the one moment. I don't know why. You know that one of them just
Is
keeps
that
Uh,
saying,
because you go round telling them that they look like they have weird auras?
no.
or
I
the fact if I was actually one of the shamans of my dad's side of the family, they would, from what my dad would say, you radiate death energy,
Yeah, I think that's the bit.
or at least
Cause
you're radiating it from your pocket.
mm,
From his pocket? Why would you keep death energy in your pocket?
he pulls out
Seems
the
weird.
knife.
How would you be able to stuff energy into a pocket?
He pulls out the knife. Oh,
Oh, oh, okay. So, like, you kill lots of things with a knife and the energy goes in it?
not really. This was a gift from my mentor. Mm,
So, they killed lots of things with a knife and the energy went in it?
It's kind of a ritual that you can make.
It's
So it stores the energy when I'm running low on it.
Oh, so it just kind of stores your energy. You put the energy in and then you take the energy out and then you put the energy in and then you take the energy out and stuff.
Basically. So if
Oh,
I'm
okay. Yeah, I have something like that. It's just not on me.
Me too.
yeah, well, I besides kind of eating and drinking, the whole thingy mabob isn't so much as actually refueling myself with blood per se. It's more like the energy within the blood or within a thing.
See, I just think fridges are handy.
Fridges are handy, but then again, from time to time when I'm really running low and I need a refill, I get this thing, you know. So yeah, it's not always that I have, well, let's say a human next to me that I can just say, hey, can you just come here for a sec and pop my fangs out?
Yeah. Hey, Can I borrow your arm? Nom 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 nom.
Yeah, that generally doesn't work necessarily. I haven't figured out a good way to feed yet. Hmm. And I'm definitely not in a female body, so I can't do the whole stripper thing. Yeah,
You know there are guy strippers, right?
there are guy strippers, but I'm not that kind of a dude. So
Okay.
mostly, mostly I get my.
I'm just saying, you can't just go, oh, all girls can strip. And it's like, well, not really.
No, no, I know that. It's just that I don't feel comfortable in doing it.
Precisely.
Exactly.
So
But
it's not really the being in a girl's body that's the issue, is it?
now I'm not comfortable doing it anyway because
Precisely.
Because
I just
you're basically what you're saying is you're not comfortable in a chick's body because your spirit is actually a dude.
uh looks at his dude body. I'm a dude. Yeah, and this is my original body that I died in.
I think what he's saying is that if he was a girl, he could strip, which I don't see how that would change how you felt about stripping, but I don't
Uh,
know.
I know a person that did kind of posed as one, but you know, method of feeding and such.
Posed as a woman?
Posed as a
It's like
working girl.
a drag queen for hunting?
Uh, sort of.
oh god.
Kinda.
Uh,
Not. You know,
that's
when we reincarnate, we don't always get into our original bodies. You know, I'm one of the few that were blessed with getting into my original one.
That's kind of weird.
Well,
that
when you go
actually.
to hell and you have to claw your way out of Buddhist hell, you,
What? You. Huh?
yeah, I went to
You've been to hell.
Buddhist hell, but yes.
Oh,
Is
that's a thing?
is it
Y'all have
different?
hell?
How
Yeah,
many how many hells are there?
about a
And
thousand.
like, are they side by side? Like terrace hells? And if you go up in the attic, you can sneak through to the hell next door?
I'm not sure exactly on all of the hells, but the one that I've been in was the one for disrespecting authority.
Oh, that's just lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had frequent fights with my parents when I was alive.
I think Hong Kong is supposed to be my hell for disrespecting authority.
Wow. Okay.
Because
So
that's
that
kind of why I got sent here.
Okay. I I just disrespected my parents, but when I died alongside them in a car crash, I was sent to hell, and then I clawed my way out of hell and back to my original body.
So, seriously, you got sent to hell for, like, I don't know, telling your parents that you didn't want to mow the lawn.
Mm, we had frequent fights on almost every subject we can think of. We rarely got along.
Is it just your parents or authority in general?
The hell is reserved for authority in general, but the actual reason why I sent there, it was because of my parents.
Well, yeah, it's just because
there are 1,000 hells, you know.
That seems excessive.
Uh, I didn't make the
And
rules.
what if you disrespected your parents and you murdered someone? I mean, that's
You,
kind of two things. And then you go out and you graffitied and you I don't know, stole some pick a mix. And it's like, which one of those do you end up in? And I mean, the obvious thing would be the murder thing, but you don't know.
but there is a judge that actually judges you and sends you to the hell that he thinks of. And I think the Japanese call him uh, something with a Y. Sorry, the player forgot out of character which one was the name of the judge.
Um,
Yenma. Yenma. That's how it's called in Japanese. But
sounds
yeah,
like
The kind of weird zombie vampire things that live here climbed out of hell and got back into bodies.
yeah. And generally uh, we don't have the privilege of returning into our own body, not all the
And
time.
I thought shovel heading was cruel.
shovel heading.
Shovel heading.
Yeah, where you just kind of like whack someone over the head and turn them into a vampire, and then they wake up and they're just like, what happened? And stuff.
That's a thing.
Okay.
That's a thing amongst your people.
Not my people, but you know, some people.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's excessive anyway.
It's not a good thing. It's a thing
yeah.
that you're very much not supposed to do.
Well,
Um,
not everyone climbs out of hell, mind you. I was lucky enough to do so, I guess. And then I got my senses kicked out of me because usually when I came back, I'm a actual zombie that eats flesh and sucks blood of everyone. So,
Yeah, well, kind of been there, done that. Not the
yeah.
eating flesh thing, because that's kind of gross.
Yeah, well, at least I had my current mentor to keep the sense out of me, so now I can just, you know, just suck blood and absorb energy naturally.
See, mine just made sure that we had a whole bunch of bags and some sheep.
Oh, I can actually drink chi out of sheep, because that's the
And then
energy
once I
that.
calmed down, we could talk about things better.
Yeah, exactly.
ah,
Super handy.
Sheep are really handy.
Not very tasty, though.
And when you're hungry and you want something, you kind of forgo the whole tasty thing.
uh,
I miss hot
I
chocolate.
Hot chocolate is awesome.
yeah, it is awesome.
I miss
Uh,
hot chocolate.
wow. Now
Luckily
I
for
kind of
me,
go ahead.
luckily for me, I don't miss it. I just have to eat or drink a lot of it. To I don't know why. I have to do it a lot more than usual, and I still. It's like not feeding, but you still stuff your face for some reason, which is weird.
Wow.
I need to
I
talk to this to my mentor a bit, because that part was weird on my part.
I feel so uh, awkward now. I kind of just I get my energy source from like random stuff. Like
Well,
right now would be justification a vacation for my music to go off, which is foster trust.
well, if I really wanted chi, I could just drink from either of you and be refilled.
and
I
you have
would
no
not
nutrition.
recommend it on mine.
Why?
Um,
You have
yeah,
a lot.
I wouldn't recommend trying.
I know that
Uh,
you have a lot of yang and you have a lot of yin. So, yeah.
Normal, I don't know about your kind, but I've heard from my people and my mentor that if, like, say uh, if one of Dexter's kind bet on me, they would be tripping balls for about for a few nights.
I don't suffer from the same thing. I, other, I think it's a different physiology on my part. 'Cause I'm technically
Hmm.
not feeding on your blood, I'm feeding on your energy.
Ah. Okay.
Even though it's exerted through your blood. So,
Ah.
if I'm slashing your wrist and sucking your blood, I'm not sucking technically only your blood, your energy as well. So, yeah.
Out of character, I'd have to talk to Arya on that because if you're sucking his energy, wouldn't that be construed as
Um,
you sucking
actually,
in clamor?
actually, we did discuss it with Ari, I think, and you wouldn't end up going kind of bonkers, but it probably would be tapping your glamour.
Yeah. So, I'd be draining your glamour a bit. So, unless you have a freehold now,
I.
yeah.
Where do you think he why he lives at his club?
Okay, gotcha. But yeah,
Yeah,
back
also
in.
out of character. Um, in terms of fostering trust, there's some trust and there's more trust, and there's different levels of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, if you're trying to do musing, you don't do it on the first time you meet the people that you're doing it on.
Yeah, well. He just said that as an example. He didn't try to actually go about doing it.
Alright, just saying. But anyway, back in character. So yeah, I'd get different types of energy from either of you, and I'd still get refilled.
Hmm. That's interesting.
Oddly enough, regular food, even though I can technically eat it, it doesn't fill me up, which is annoying.
Yeah, that's gotta suck.
Well,
It'd
at
be
least it doesn't make you throw up everywhere.
Yeah,
uh,
I just have to eat a lot of it. An enormous, a lot more than I used to eat, but which is weird, even though technically it doesn't satiate me at all. And I do mean at all. Mm.
uh, it'd be intriguing to see you high, but then again, it would scare me at the same time.
Depends. I wouldn't know. I haven't been high at all in all my life.
I
So,
don't do brain twisting stuff. It's considered something of a liability.
I just go about just unwind with a joint every once in a while. I don't actually do the hard shit.
Oh, that wouldn't work on me anyway.
Well, yeah, I kind of figured it wouldn't, unless it
eh,
was probably in the blood you were eating.
does it
Maybe.
work that way? Hmm. I don't know. Chi is chi.
Yeah,
So,
cheese is a completely different thing.
And so is cheese.
yeah. I like
Yeah, there.
I like cheese. Cheese is good.
I used to like cheese.
I used to like cheese as well. Now I don't like it the same way. Annoying being a living corpse.
So basically, what we need to do is make a cheesecake with lots of chocolate on it. And then we give it to him and he eats it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gesturing at Raikou with this.
Yeah, Riker might actually eat it. 'Cause he
How about
doesn't
we?
suffer.
How about this?
Mm.
I do have areas in my club set up for this type of thing because it is
What,
a
eating
neutral club.
cheesecake? There's a cheesecake room.
I was thinking if along the lines of the end result of what y'all are probably thinking of what doing with the person that ate the cheesecake.
I
Oh,
don't think you'd end up with cheesecake flavored blood. That, what? That wouldn't make any sense.
why not? That
Can you
would be
imagine how
good.
much cheesecake you'd have to feed someone? And even so, wouldn't taste like cheesecake. Not how it works. I mean, you absorb all the different proteins and all the different sugars and stuffs, but it doesn't make your blood taste like cheesecake.
Well, it's a thought.
Theoretically, some things you might be able to change the flavor of the blood. Like, I guess garlic might do it. That would just kind of taste kind of weird. And I don't know, maybe asparagus. The things that tend to end up getting processed and still coming out smelling the same, kind of those things are more likely to make a difference on the blood than cheesecake.
I'm,
But
Would
I'm not.
they sound less satisfying than cheesecake.
but would
Yeah,
alcohol and drugs influence blood taste? Mm.
But I told you I don't want stuff that messes with my head. So really, we'd just be making a big cheesecake because we could make a big
yeah,
cheesecake.
and have me eat it for no point.
Yeah.
I would be the only one enjoying it.
Yeah, because
Is there a problem with making cheesecake to make cheesecake?
I don't
No, not
think
really.
so.
But you have rooms for people to eat people?
Uh, it like I said, it's a neutral club. Like I've actually had vampiric clients that have actually paid fairly well to do their thing with one of my strippers.
Mm.
Lord knows I actually had to get really expensive health care for most of them.
Well, they would be low on their blood. So,
Yeah,
anemic? I think anemic is the word.
to, needless to say, a lot of those girls are have gone on iron supplements.
Compulsory post shift steak burgers.
Huh.
That
Interesting.
that it sounds intriguing. What is that?
Compulsory post shift steak burgers. After shift, it's compulsory that they eat a burger made with a steak on top, like cheeseburger, but it's like burger, then steak, then cheese.
Mm. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that really sounds interesting.
Well, you could put it in as part of your health program. All the strippers after their shift, eat a steak burger.
I think I can actually have that arranged. But then again, I'd have to import a lot of deer.
Why?
Right
That's
here.
actually that their steak, when prepared for eating, actually yields out the most protein and most nutrients for the body. It's just and with less fat.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I kind of learned these things from carnivores.
Okay. So
Makes
yeah,
sense.
that will help keep them all ironed up and with energy and stuff, and then they can go home and sleep.
Yay!
And it's actually helped a lot of my vampiric clients to keep from draining my girls dry too much. If they leave it raw.
Luckily for me, I don't need that much. So, eh.
Actually, this is actually the first time, probably, well, knowingly that I've met one of your kind.
So
For both of you.
so you had lots of them come in and pay to feed on the strippers, but you've never met them?
Well, I've had suspicions, and I've had the videotapes wiped from those rooms more than once with them doing it.
Well, that's just careless.
uh,
Why
unfortunately,
on earth would you let something like that get caught on tape?
Mm,
luckily those rooms are actually closed circuit, and they're only wiped after I know my girls are okay.
You know, you might want to go passing some of that information on to people, because they're not supposed to go doing stuff where it can get caught on camera. It's just careless. And admittedly, it's not such a big deal if it's you seeing it and so forth, but really, they need to get told to be more careful.
Well, they're well, half most of them were the younger kind that could cast a reflection where I guess it showed up on technology,
Well,
so they couldn't really
yeah,
help it.
most of us do show up on camera.
Like I said, this is the first time I actually interact with one of your kind on a personal level.
Okay, but just remember that they're not supposed to get caught doing these things. So, if if they're not being careful there, they might not be careful other places. And then the next thing you know, the humans know all about everything, and it's chaos, and there's people running in the streets, and it's not good.
Well, I actually put in a rule that since they're young as they were, I'd prefer that they come to my club if they're hungry. If their parents are don't come out with them, if I prefer that they come to my club to handle that. That's partly why it's a neutral club.
Okay.
So
You
at least
you
they're in
don't
a safe.
exactly have parents, right? Kind of just the one.
Okay, parent. I stand corrected.
And I mean, how do you know they're young?
Uh, well, most of them look. Most of them I've actually pulled out of my alleyway, feeding off of a hobo before they got seen.
oh,
Well,
Oh.
they definitely need to learn to do things better.
Yeah, it- and also I actually have some neutrality stuff in place where if anybody else wanted to start stuff, they actually had to breach those security measures. So I actually know these kiddos are actually safe.
Okay, it's just like you don't seem to know enough to know if they're new or they're old or they're just stupid.
Well, like I said, I'm mostly an outsider to your kind. I only know stuff from like stories,
Okay, well,
and
yeah.
luckily my club's been deemed neutral territory. So the only thing they would be in trouble for is if they got seen.
Mhm. Okay. Hmm.
And half of them were did look like they were as young as I am, or acted as such.
Uh, you do know that we don't tend to age, right?
Like I said, they acted as such as they acted as if they were young, maybe as young as me or younger than me.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's up to you how you deal with things and stuff. I just hope that they're more careful other places.
Uh, I So far, they've only come back to my club to do that sort of thing, and they've told me they've been trying to be careful.
Well, that's good at
It's
least.
Yeah, that's as far as I've went with it.
Hmm. Interesting. Well, at least I don't have to report this to the council. So that's good.
Yeah. Right now I'm actually playing host to a young mage,
Hmm.
Cool.
That's nice.
who may or may not be have parents that were werewolves or were werewolves.
I don't know how that works. So.
Well, like normally, but one of his parents were a werewolf.
I don't suppose you could try and find out what the mage's view on vampires is.
I can try and ask, but he's like 14.
Okay, it's just I kind of I like learning things, and magic is really interesting. Um, but I kind of used to be told most of the time that the mages don't like us. So, I'd rather not start things if.
Hey,
Um, it,
we
I,
have the full council as a safety measure as is, so they need to play nice either way.
Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that you want to go and have the arguments if you don't have if it's not going to get you anywhere anyway, you know?
True. So,
Just because you know that they're not going to kill you for it doesn't mean they're going to be happy to talk to you and stuff.
also true. We just need to work with each other to fight the technocracy, not to actually
Yeah,
be
I
bad
never
buddies.
really get what that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did they not explain it to you?
it
not
sounds banal.
really.
Whatever it is, it just really sounds banal.
just that it's kind of like techno mages, and that doesn't really make much sense because there's lots of things that can do things with technology. So why these ones?
Well, these ones are dicks that wanted to run us out of all of our respective homes, use all of our respective resources, and just kill everything supernatural in sight.
Yeah, but there's lots of people that are dicks.
Yeah, but these ones are dicks to everyone. So,
There's lots of people that are dicks to everyone as well.
yeah, but these are the guys that we had to make a freaking council for, you know? Just so
Okay.
that
Yeah.
they don't run us out of our respective homes and kill us outright in the street. You know? As soon as
Okay.
they see us.
Yeah.
Because
But how do you tell
Don't
who
like
they
them
are?
already.
I mean, they're not going to go walking around with, I don't know, like, whatever the technocracy version of swastikas is.
well, they generally dress in a full suit and have mirror-shaded glasses. So,
Like the Men in Black?
Lots of people who are dicks walk around in full suits with mirror-shaded glasses.
exactly. Kind of like the Men in Black, and yes, probably, but that's generally the types that you'd figure them out. Plus, don't you have something that distinguishes their chi?
Not really.
Huh.
I still don't get what you're on about with the chi thing.
Uh,
Um,
we have, you know, that for every good there's every evil, and every evil
Yeah,
has
no,
every good.
I get that. It's kind of like
Light
dark and
and-
light energy stuff, but I don't really. I mean, presumably it's in the blood and stuff, right?
It's every.
So if you drink the blood and you get the chi out of it, why don't I have a mixed thingy instead of a yin thingy? Because presumably I don't just eat yinny people.
You're a vampire.
Yeah.
You're aspected towards yin because you kind of died to become one.
Okay.
Generally, or at least the way I've been told so far, some of us, points to himself, are aspected towards yin, some of us are aspected towards yang, some of us are balanced. So, there are supernaturals that are aspected towards one of the two or both, depending on how they are. I don't know how they became. I don't know how you became yourself right now. I don't know how you became yourself right now. Uh, points to Riker.
yeah.
But when I look at you through my sight, you appear yin aspected and you appear yang aspected. Because you have a lot more death energy in you and you have a lot more life energy. It's depending on
So basically, in your sight abilities, we probably look like the extremes of both sides.
Yes.
Ah.
Usually, regular humans have a lot less than you two have, or myself, because I'm not that old. You know? I don't know how you got so much of it in you. It's just that I know that you have it in you. You know? With my respective sights, I can see creatures that are aspected. If I use yin sight, the one that's aspected towards death, and the yang one, the ones that are aspected towards life.
So, it's
Interesting. That's kind of interesting. A little hindsight 2020 thing, considering through my little plane of existence side myself, when I'm looking at both y'all, I actually just see y'all as gray.
well, I'm aspected towards death because my whole path of enlightenment, shall we put it like that?
Ah, uh, well, yours is actually a little bit darker gray than, say, gesturing to Dexterra.
Yeah, I know. I studied death.
And my other skill I have actually is what picked up your dagger.
Okay.
And same skill actually picked up the beads off her bracelet.
Okay.
I know
That's
they're
kind of weird.
both have some sort of energy and magic to them. Yours I knew exactly as death. Hers I couldn't pick up.
Mm. Okay.
So you can kind of see magic all over the place, wherever it is.
Energy.
Well, I can detect it and decipher out that it corresponds with a certain supernatural. Like our friend here, I picked off he had something to do with death. Uh, I picked you off by your bracelet, the beads off your bracelet. There was some kind of magic to them. It's just I didn't know, I couldn't pick up what kind of magic.
Yeah, well, they're not kind of active at the moment.
Uh,
Mm. Yeah. Well, I just have to cycle through life and death to see what types of energies anyone has. That's how I determine the broader territory of what type of supernatural or humans I run into. No?
as far as supernatural is concerned, I was actually born as a normal human, but I kind of knew what was going on because of my dad. Uh, until I became a changeling and everything went sideways.
I don't know.
And everything went really really curiosity and curious sideways at that.
I'm still getting used to all this. You know,
And
I
as far as it whole thing being weird, uh, that's actually kind of normal for me
nah.
ever since then.
No, normal for you isn't normal for me yet. Yet, mind you, but still. Eh, still. Oh, what?
That's evil, Deb.
Okay.
Okay, what happened?
Nothing.
Okay, never mind. Still. I don't know. Everything is so new and weird, and after the little bit of training that I had with my mentor, it's then I get to meet the people that he's been talking about, you know, which is strange and weird. Because we have a lot of people that have to make decisions for our city, and just recently I got out to actually see a few of them. So, yes, it's weird for me.
I mean, this whole card tarot council thingy looks a bit confusing, to be honest. But I mean, how do you even end up as one of the Arcana people?
You vote.
Who
You
votes?
have, you have to participate in the meetings first and foremost. Because if you don't participate, people don't know about you, you know? So people need to know about you to have an opinion about you. And you get voted into one of the seats. Of course, you make your opinion known that you want to be on one of them to, you know, participate. Be part of the council. Be active. Say what you have on your mind.
Okay.
And after a while, you get voted on one of the seats, and you'll have the attributes that come with it. Which,
Because apparently I might make a good devil person. But I just have to kind of get there, I guess.
yeah, you just have to participate in the meetings. Because if you're not there, it's kind of like, why do you want to be if you're not there? So, does that make sense?
Kind of, except, some of the stuff, it sounds like it's less about decision making, more about practical and doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, you might be busy doing the job rather than being at the meetings.
Well, they're only once a month.
I guess so. Or you could, I don't know, have a proxy person if you can't go yourself.
Clear it with the elders, and that can be done. Uh, I'm just one of the supervisors. I don't get to have actual decisions unless someone votes me to be one of the decision makers. Sort of. Not allowed, you know. I'm the host, so to speak. Even though technically it's not me per se, it's the
So,
type
like,
of me.
you go around with the biscuits and the cups of tea and stuff.
Yeah, I'm the one that helps provide the place, the time, entertain the guests with food and drink, kinda, if they need more heat or more cold and the like, or whatever things that you can do to entertain guests, I guess. Still fuzzy on that one. because I don't know
Like,
everyone's taste.
do you put on some music or stuff while people are waiting?
If they want to, yeah. That's all depends on my superiors at that point. Because more than likely one of them will be there and they'll know what to order me to do. Because bear in mind, some of us actually tend to live for lots and lots of years.
Oh
And-
yeah, quite a
And
lot of people live for quite a long time.
and I'm just in my first year of being the way I'm currently am. So there's that, which is amusing, exciting, and terrifying at the same time. Mm. Was it weird the first year after you got out of hell?
Well, I didn't kind of go.
Oh, you,
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
hell's kind of. I don't even know where I would end up. I mean, weird. But, you get the hang of things and you do stuff, and then you end up with people not liking the stuff you do and sending you to Hong Kong.
mm. Huh? Did you break their rules?
Not exactly.
Huh? They didn't like your attitude?
Kinda.
So you kind of respected their rules, but you did it in a defiant manner?
Not even that. It's just they didn't like me having friends.
That's stupid.
Which, it isn't against the rules, but it's complicated.
Why would people not want to have friends? We tend to live long lives. I mean, come on. Unless we do something to alert the humans, we kind of are fine with being ourselves.
Yeah, well,
Seriously.
my
Your
some
superior,
people aren't quite so open-minded about people being themselves.
your superiors are assholes. Sorry, but at least that's how I, from your description, that's the opinion that I formed.
And that's the kind of opinion that gets you sent to Hong Kong. That's pretty much most of it.
Oh, you had a negative opinion about your superiors and they
And I
sent
have
you.
friends that weren't there, weren't kind of connected to them, and um, they didn't like my hobbies, but more that they didn't understand them because, like, I like computers and stuff, and some of my superiors are kind of, what's all this newfangled nonsense? Except, I'm not supposed to talk about them like that.
Okay. Again. What the fuck?
I
Wow.
suppose I suppose if you were alive when computers were like house sized, understanding a palm top might be tricky, I suppose.
True, but when you actually know that the technology goes forward and all sorts of new cool shit keeps on popping up, I'm seriously looking forward to when computers are holographic types.
Oh, you can do that already.
Ooh, none of my computer friends told me that you can do that.
Well, it's tricky and it's not really hologram, just kind of you can phase the light so it looks kind of, yeah, it's kind of basically just a different form of screen. Can't really do much with them. You definitely, it's not like holodecks on Star Trek where you can kind of interact with stuff, but you can make it look 3D and kind of stuff.
But doesn't that cost a lot of money?
Yeah, not really worth it yet.
Mm, Still. Oh well, that was an interesting thing to think about because, well, I know that I had the console at one point. Uh, well, technically, that was supposed to be not totally okay, but I still had it anyway because import. I knew some people at one point, but yeah. Other computers are pretty interesting to at least emulate console games. That was interesting when I played a few of them.
Well, way more interesting than games is just dealing with general computer stuff. You know, finding all sorts of stuff all over the place. And people throw up all these kind of programs and you can put them together in interesting ways and you can find the holes and you can just kind of play around with them.
Okay, just know how to play video games. That's it. Sorry, uh, parents
Okay.
didn't.
It's just kind of computers are my thing, so.
Yeah, I just know the very basics on how to turn it on, how to install a program, how to play the video game that needs, a list. Generally, I have a few computer friends that explain me which order that I need to install the programs that let me
How
play
to
the.
boot a program on DOS, how to mirror a program, a system, that kind of stuff.
How to use a mirrored disk so that I can install from it the video game itself. Yes.
Oh,
Creating
okay.
it is not. Uh, I know that they can do a lot more than I can, but right now they didn't explain the whole bigger picture of how to actually pull it off, so to speak. No,
Well, I mean, have you ever mirrored your computer onto an external hard drive?
no, I,
Okay.
d- I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Well, you know, most people don't really need to, I guess.
Well, I was studying a bit of history at one point, but I was supposed to get into college, but then I died, so yeah.
And Meals on Wheels.
Yeah. Then I died, and now I'm not sure about my life anymore. So I'm learning about all this new stuff and meeting a whole lot of new people that keep coming from different parts of the world that I'm not sure how to react to yet.
Well, it's kind of like a crazy mixing pot here, which I think is good. Because it means you can have all kinds of different people doing all kinds of different things, but all moving towards the same kind of goal.
Beating the technocracy that wants to kill us all.
Well, I guess so, but I mean in general.
Yeah,
A lot of the time, people are kind of thinking, you've got to have all these people working in this kind of a way, and they all do the same kind of thing, and then you get to your goal. But if you mix everything up and everyone kind of does different things that they're good at, and you still kind of pull in the same direction, and you can reach your goal in a different way.
kind of like how I heard from YouTube videos how video game developers make games.
Maybe?
You're right,
Kind of.
right on time, right?
Yeah, or at least that's how I like to think of it. Because, well, uh, uh, doing a video game, especially a very big one, need lots of departments. Some that are good with art, some that actually are good with storylines, some that are good with
Yeah,
game
kind of like
mechanics.
that, with everybody kind of doing what they're good at rather than what they're supposed to be good at. And then they can kind of build together.
Yeah,
Basically,
They got a
everyone
good
acting
contract
working as a
with the
team
other.
with each of their specialized skills, and all those specialized skills are offsetting each other to
Precisely.
uh,
I know.
to build to a goal, a shared goal, or each individual's goals.
Much better way of doing things.
yeah,
You know, so I think.
yeah. I like to think like that because
Probably should.
we're all making a big video game that costs lots of money, and we all have good skills that kind of help each other, but not all of us are at the same skill level, but we're kind of good at something, right? Or at least that's how I like to believe that we are. As things are confusing as it is, and at least I know something that works. I guess. Hmm.
Oh well, my kind of shares that same view, at least for uh, how, well, for lack of a better term, normal reality.
What else is going on?
Well, there are multiple sides and multiple realities. I know that at least I can go to one that is aspected towards death and one that's aspected towards life.
So wait, there's a whole bunch of hells, and
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of reality things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bad cop, this.
I can introduce you to my mage friend, and he can explain that.
If he doesn't mind.
He actually is a teacher and workshop teacher.
Cool.
Nice.
Even at 14, this dude's super genius.
Well, I know that at least I can actually know how to open up the pathway onto the lands where the wraiths are, and there is another type of lands that I can open the pathway to, where the spirits are, the living spirits.
I have ways to do that. It's just the more safest way is like get one of my dad's side of the family just uh, grab me and take me over there.
So wait, the werewolves can go to different weird places as well?
Aren't they?
Um, they're very spiritual and tied to the world, so apparently.
Is it only us that can't go anywhere other than here?
I don't know. Have you met all of you?
That is true. Maybe some of them can.
Oh, I know that my mentor was gracious enough to teach me how to do the specific rituals in order to actually get to either one of the various realms.
I guess maybe I just don't know how to get there. But no, well. Then again, there's plenty to deal with here. So
Well, if you ever want to go into one of them, I can take you there.
I don't know. What are they like?
The death one or the life one?
Both.
The death one is creepy. It is the shadow version of things that already passed on but are still bound to this earth, but kind of like, you know, ghosts, ghosts of buildings, ghosts of animals, of people, and the like.
So, like, if someone had a sausage, there'd be a ghost sausage?
Not exactly, no.
Everything has a spirit. I don't know
That's
about that one.
okay. We're in the ghost lands. Usually, people go there when they turn into ghosts because they have a regret. No, they didn't do that well in life, and they kind of just linger there. Don't know why they aren't thrown into Yomi directly, but
So, like, unfinished business and, like, Christmas Carol thing and the ghost with the chains and things.
yeah.
Okay.
Although the type of ghost that you see there from time to time, they're really disturbing. Especially when you see someone that has a part of his head just dangling a bit because he wasn't cut all the way through, or missing limbs,
Like,
or
nearly headless Nick.
yes, exactly. Only a lot scarier than that, because they creepy, they creepy real bad, and there's a lot of screaming going around there because you know they kind of start losing hope the more time they stay there, sort of. So yeah, I kind of studied that place. And there are the life aspect at the spirit realm. I haven't gone to that one yet. But apparently everything that you see in this room kind of has a spirit, and that spirit is reflected into that place.
So, like, there's a coffee maker spirit
Yeah,
and a fridge spirit
yeah,
and a teacup spirit
yeah,
and a teaspoon spirit.
Yep.
Like all the sugar and the coffee and the.
Yep.
I mean, is there like one sugar spirit, or are there billions of tiny sugar spirits for each grain? And
There there
if
can
there were
be.
billions, I mean, is it one for each grain, or could you then, and like if you went and you crunched one of the grains, would they end up becoming two spirits, or would you hurt the spirit, or if you dissolved it in your coffee, would it then become like the coffee spirit ate the sugar spirit?
Okay. There are lots and lots of spirits, and frankly, it's exactly as how confusing as you're making it sound. Because they kind of change shape and sizes the more thing interactions the real world does. So, lots of spirits are born all the time because of what we do here.
So like you take a dozen coffee ground spirit things and 100 sugar sprinkle spirit things and a hot water spirit thing. You smush them all together, you get a coffee spirit.
Kinda. I need to go to that realm more often. I'm not going there as often as I should be. But since I'm a Song of Shadow, I generally go to the death ones, even though the life ones sound interesting. Path of Enlightenment and all that. Sometimes it's hard. Oh well.
And like when you smush them all together to make the coffee spirit, do the ones that you smush together end up in the shadow realm as having been killed by turning them into coffee?
No, they just fuse into the one spirit. Spirits can cannibalize other spirits. That's true in both the living and the dead parts of the spiritual realms. So both the yin and the yang aspected realms. That's universally true. They're cannibals. Spirits are cannibals. That's
But I mean, if they eat them, don't they end up in the dead realm because they've been eaten?
spiritual energy just is absorbed from one place to another. You know, kind of the same way as when you pour water into a bottle that already had some water, you're just filling up the bottle with more water. It's still water there, and like that.
But then the first bottle that you tipped into this second bottle is now
Is that,
empty.
yeah,
And
exactly.
then it's an empty bottle, so shouldn't it be in the empty bottle place?
It's it changes shape and changes its meaning. Because from time to time they change meaning as well. Because when
Things
you
are really confusing.
oh maliciously so, things get really really complicated.
Needless to
And
say, this is just the supernatural side. Just wait to just imagine mixing in the normal human everyday stuff.
exactly. And of course, the yang aspected realm isn't the one that I'm studying. It's the yin one that I'm studying. So, uh,
Wait, is there a computer spirit in there? And like, if I
there's a
got out my phone, be a phone spirit.
yes.
Now, if you send a text message,
Is there a text message spirit, or is it just information passed from one phone spirit to another phone spirit?
Stop. I think it would be the second one. Still confusing.
And like, do they have personalities?
Yes, spirit
Um,
have different personalities.
If you had a phone that you looked after really well, but you didn't really use very much, would it have a different personality to one which you use really often, but you kind of throw it into your bag with your keys and it gets all kind of screen scratched?
Exactly.
So what
That's
would it be
right.
like?
Different personality.
Yeah, but what kind of personalities?
Depends on the phone. You do realize that spirits have personalities the same way humans have personalities, right?
Yeah.
So depending on how they were programmed as, the humans can have different personalities from other humans, and spirits can have.
Like, if I take my computer apart and I put the hard drive in a new computer, it's kind of got a lot of the personality of the first computer, but it's got a whole bunch of other bits in it as well. Would it end up being the same spirit in a new computer, or would it be a new Frankenstein spirit, or would it be an entirely new spirit because it's a new computer?
You change the shape of and the energy of the computer by doing so. So essentially, you're creating a different
So
spirit.
does that mean that theoretically you'd have killed the old spirit?
Yes.
Oh, that's not very good.
It's just the way it is.
Well, I mean, even if you just like upgrade the RAM.
Even if you just upgrade the RAM, the spiritual energy changes.
Jeez. My computers must never last more than a month.
And that's okay. It's how spirits are.
It's how they grow and adapt. What I'm gathering.
Although technically, it's how it happens. I mean, we don't have that much control over it, and frankly, if we keep on using it and using it and using it all the time, it just breaks down and die naturally because of the yang, the yin chi that it accumulates over time. So you're doing it a favor.
By killing it and making a new one over and over again.
Yeah. Well, they're not like humans and a lot of supernaturals. Now, not all of them are awake to be sentient to actually perceive this.
So if I took the parts back out of the second computer that I make, and put it back together as the first computer, would it then make that spirit come back again by having destroyed the second spirit and taken it back to pieces? And if you kept doing that backwards and forwards, like you kept taking a hard drive from one computer with one setup, and you put it in the other, and then you put it back in the other one, and then you put it back in the other one, and it's like one spirit keeps dying and the other one keeps coming back, and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
You know that they're not awake to actually feel anything, right?
Rocker by now is actually rubbing his temples because of all this.
Yeah. You know that there is a thing to wake them up. Although technically
Wait,
I don't know
so
how.
you said the phones have different personalities, but they're not awake?
No. No. Do you see
So how
all
do they have personalities if they're asleep all the time?
you wake them up?
Yeah, but I mean, if they're not awake and they're asleep, how do they have different personalities?
Humans have different personalities that go to sleep. You can't tell what personalities they do have while they're asleep. You need to wake them up.
So how do you wake them up? I mean, like, is there some spirit alarm clock thing? Or, no, if you get an actual alarm clock and you put the alarm clock next to the phone and you set the alarm clock off, would the spirit alarm clock go off and wake up the phone?
There are rituals to wake up spirits. I don't know them.
Rituals with alarm clocks?
Rituals that wake up spirits. There are proceedings and ways of doing so. I don't know them.
You start it by getting 2 alarm clocks next to each other so that they wake each other up.
You'd have to talk to one of either the, I think the Magi knew something, or the werewolves knew something, or whomever, but not me. I don't know any of my rituals that can do that. At least not to my knowledge. I'll have to ask my superiors. And to learn more rituals, now that I think about it. So much rituals to learn.
Oh, I know that feeling.
I don't know. It just takes a lot of time to learn them, and even then you don't know if the ones that you do learn is the right one that you do need. I just know the one ritual that lets me go into the one realm that's yin aspected and one realm that's yang aspected, to my knowledge.
Could you teach me about them?
About what?
About the rituals that let you go into the different realms?
I'd have to ask my superiors because I'm not sure if they apply to you. Because you said that you're a vampire and not a Fey Jinn.
Yeah.
You didn't go to Yomi when you died,
Not that I remember.
and you didn't go back out of Buddhist hell back into your body.
Again, not that I remember. I might have.
It was a kind of frightening experience on my end. Yeah, frightening, shambling orcs.
Well, yeah, but I mean, one minute I was dying, and then I was waking up from being dead. So I don't know what kind of happened with me in between. It was like a whole 3 hours there.
Although in my case it was a whole few days there.
Well, everybody's different.
Yeah. And it's not like you woke up and needed to consume both flesh and blood.
Definitely not flesh.
Okay, but that would have been embarrassing. It was embarrassing enough for me when I did it. And you're still in your original body, right?
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Well, sort of. I mean, originally I was a baby, but yes.
No, I mean the same body that you died in.
Yes.
Okay, good. So you don't go to Yomi, or don't remember going to Yomi. And do you have any path of enlightenment that you're on?
Not really.
Okay, so that.
Out of character, that just sounded. That probably just sounded like Sabat lingo to Dex.
Yeah. Little bit.
But he's just trying to figure out if rituals can be taught between vampires and Pui Jin.
Yeah.
So, do you know any rituals on your own?
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, that's good. So, you know how to cast rituals on your own, and your teachers taught them to you, right?
Well, some of them I kind of learned from the books, but yes.
Hmm. It's a way to do it. So, it's good. Now I just need to figure out how to teach you the thing. But I'm not sure if it works the same way for you as it does for me.
Well, then she'll get out like a notepad and a pencil. If you just kind of tell me how you do it, I can write it all down and see if I can figure it out.
Okay, do you see this? And he gets out kind of like a type of wooden coin type deal.
Okay, so it's circular wooden coin with what's that scratched on there?
Hold on, let me get the whole ritual description, because I'm going to tell you the exact thing that you need to do. Jade. Okay. Play Jin. Okay, so let's see. Right enables Quijin to imbue properties that allow the to craft replicas tiny like this. Then they use on the craft's festivals, counters, and writing the monster. Oh, okay, so uh, this is a piece of jade.
Okay.
And it is shaped like mm, well, a bit like me, but not really. So if I'm going to a yin world, the jade should be white.
Okay.
If I'm going to a yang world, the jade should be red. And that's how you kind of make the little boats that you go and ride the various currents to actually get to.
Make a tiny jade boat. Yep.
Because the thing is, you need to fill a bronze bowl with clean water, add an infusion of savory herbs, set it outside in the moonlight for an hour,
Any
and
specific herbs?
uh,
Like, I mean, is there sage in there, or thyme, or sorrel, or is it kind of more of a follow your instincts kind of thing?
uh, hmm, let's see. Which ritual can be? Well, night blooming flowers, preferably.
So like jasmine and stuff.
Yeah, because take in mind this is all happening during the night, and you need to kind of infuse points of chi into it, aspect it towards the realm that you're going into.
So how do you infuse the chi into it?
Uh, you need to make part of it kind of like yourself and
By
meditate. You need to actually mm, make either a human uh, The scratches that you need to make on the jade pieces can be approximately looking like a human-like thingy or like a boat thingy, but they don't have to be exactly like that. And I don't know. You need to put it under moonlight to actually make the proper thingy mabob. And you you need to meditate, to infuse it with the specifically aspected chi
So are you putting the
type.
chi in the boat or
Yeah.
in the water?
in the boat.
Okay.
Because you do this by scratching it with making the thing out of the jade that you're using with the bronze knife to make the scratches to make it shaped like either a human figure or a boat. And of course the water itself becomes charged with your chi, but unless the whole thing kind of hinges on where you can actually infuse chi or not. Because if you can't, then the whole ritual kind of falls on its head, technically.
Well, you say I'm full of all this yin chi stuff, and chi
Yeah.
is what you get from the blood and the flesh and stuff. Then it kind of makes sense. It's probably in our blood too, and then you just have to figure out how to move it.
Yeah, and you're filled with yin aspected chi,
Yeah.
and
So
I
it
do.
might be tricky trying to figure out how to get to the yang world, but getting to the yin world should theoretically, if we just kind of maybe do that and then the thing, and well, it's certainly worth trying. No, only one way to find out.
Well, you could
We can
try,
probably try and shuffle that bit around there, and maybe this bit. Yeah.
but you still need to go into certain places to actually ride the dragon's tongue, you know.
No. What places?
You know where the dragon lines are?
Not really.
Because the boats help you ride the dragon lines. If you don't know where they are, the ritual is kind of pointless.
Would Intelligence Greymere work in this case? Because that just would sound so familiar to Riker.
The dragon
Uh,
lines are the same for the different things, to be fair.
Yeah, because to Riker, that would be like the path of Baelor, the silver path, the gold, like the gold.
It is quite similar. Not quite the same, but it is quite similar. It would definitely sound similar.
It sounds similar, but technically you kind of need to find one of the dragon lines to help you use it.
Okay, so how do you find those?
Can you see? Oh no, wait, you said that you can't. Oh. Fuck. You need
That's
to
okay. You
actually.
probably just ask someone.
Maybe.
Or you never know, because there's all kinds of different things that people can do. And just because I can't do it doesn't mean somebody else can't do it.
Oh yeah, I can totally take you to one of the aspected worlds at one point if you provide me the jade.
Okay. Well, I mean, is there any kind of specific requirements for the jade other than the fact that it's the right color?
You need to make it the right color.
Yeah. Other than that,
And probably pure jade.
well, yeah. But I mean, does it have to be Chinese jade, or could I just kind of buy jade off eBay?
You need to make sure it's actual white jade if you're going to a Yin world, and actual red jade if you're going to the Yang world. Because, it's kind of important to make sure it's the right color of jade.
Yes.
And then I need to start mixing the whole thing with a bronze bowl and the clean water and the moon herbs and,
Okay. Well, that sounds kind of interesting. Definitely something to kind of have a bit of an experiment with and see if I can get it to work and stuff. And maybe because you said like your father's people, the wolf people, could go places as well, and the changelings can go places. So if I can find lots of different ways to go places, and I put them together and figure out what the similarities are, maybe I can try and build one for us. I don't know.
Maybe. That's a total possibility. The Magi would know how to make their own way to the various aspected worlds by themselves in their own way. I don't know.
Yeah.
As far as my dad's people are concerned, I only heard few people before, a select group of them before now actually trafficked with a certain group of your kind. They weren't all too nice.
Yeah. That might
But
be
that was like before now.
But I mean, but like you were saying, you go places, weren't you?
I could try to bring you to the other place I can go to, but I don't know how long you could stay in there or how much you would remember.
Well, if the Lion Mountain dude his explanation was correct, then I don't have any way to protect my mind at all. So, yeah. Do you have a way to protect your mind? Dextra?
Deb! We lost Deb.
Oh, I'm back now, I think.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I asked, do you know how to protect your mind?
In which way?
Well, if mind-altering powers will rob you of your memories, do you have anything to protect yourself with so that they won't do that?
Maybe. I'll have to look into it.
Well, you need to find a way
Actually, she writes everything down that she sees. She could remember that way from reading it, but she wouldn't remember.
I'll have to ask a few things, but I might be able to do something.
Writing it down, you could remember from reading what you've written down, but you wouldn't remember you reading writing it down. You just wake up like the next day, and for example, and you see that you've written something down, and you start reading through it, and you go click.
So
it will still be a little bit. Go ahead.
Basically,
sorry.
It's kind of like the movie Memento.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I can ask some of my superiors and stuff if we've got anything to do that. And they might not be happy with me doing something like that, but they might have someone else that could volunteer for it.
Okay, cool. Hey, it's not like every one of us can actually manipulate chi the same way Kuei Jin can. So.
Yeah, they're the uber zombie vampires. And that was me being saying that in the nicest way.
We kinda are, especially the way we became us.
Zompires!
Vampires. But yeah. Still, there's just one ritual that you may or may not be able to do. Because chi manipulation.
Well, thank you. I'll see if I can figure it out. Because it'd be really cool if we could.
Yeah.
It's something for me to look into as well. See if I can try and use my energy source to try and go other places.
Yeah, I don't know. You could try. Doesn't mean, even though I told you the broad strokes on how you do it, that doesn't mean you'll be able to succeed. So, yeah.
It's one of those, gotta test it out and see.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Maybe see if a few tweaks will sort it out.
yeah. However you figure out how to imbue your version of chi into stuff, maybe it will work. Well, what ritual can you do that I can't do?
Well, I'm not really supposed to talk about them much.
Duh.
But, I mean, I can kind of make it so that nobody can read stuff that I don't want to read things.
That sounds nifty. Do you need to spill your blood over a piece of paper and the writing goes invisible?
No, you kind of make a special ink that uses some of your blood and some other stuff that I can't really tell you, and then it looks like gibberish.
To everyone except you.
And the person that you're writing to.
But do you need the person that you're writing to, their blood, or it's just your blood?
Just yours.
So maybe it works, although I'm not sure. Because this is just blood. Well, that would mean you'd need... Not sure if it works with Kuei Jin blood the same way it works with vampire blood.
I don't know, but like I said, I can't really tell you the other stuff that goes into it. But if you wanted me to try and see if Kuei Jin blood would work, we could get a bottle or something.
Well, it's not like I could give you... I'm not sure how Kuei Jin blood even works, if it works at all.
It's got to work somehow. You're here talking. It's got to be moving through you somehow to make that work.
Yeah, but you don't need. Well, if you have, let's say, werewolf blood and you pour on the ink amongst the mystery ingredients, that wouldn't work, right?
I don't know. I haven't really tried, to be honest.
I
generally just use mine. I know humans won't work.
Yeah. Because even when it's chi, when I'm doing the ritual, it's my chi that I'm using, you know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, at least I know that it shouldn't be anyone else's but your own. Maybe. That's an interesting thing to ask your superiors.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask mine if anyone else can learn our rituals or if it's forbidden in any way. Oh. Oh yeah, I should have asked if it's forbidden in any way. Oops.
Well, we kind of. That was partly why I wanted the whole private area to talk, just in case it came down to this moment. That way, we don't take any but of the older people off of what we're about
Yeah,
what we're talking about.
yeah. Well, at least this isn't the actual, hey, let's go out and explain everything that we know and do so far to everyone. So not that none of the regular humans know it, which is good. Because it's always good to keep that particular thing a secret. I just need to figure out if... hmm. I'm confused.
I think we're all confused at this moment.
Because there's so much stuff to actually think about, and
Yeah.
it's not like we can use each other's thingy-mabobs.
Well,
Especially...
you got to think, somebody had to reverse engineering near technology of an opponent so they can have it in a war, or in this case, peace.
Yeah.
Uh, like, and take World War II for instance. The Americas didn't even have tanks until they went up against Germany, or at least tanks that we know of them.
That worked.
That and submarines until oh look, there's floating boats better than ours in the water and under the water.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Well, as long as neither of us actually say from where they found it from, or, hey, you know, I thought of an interesting new ritual, how would that work for us? You know, kind of not be obvious on how we found everything out. And don't be like, hey, this is a vampire, or hey, this is a Kuei Jin type ritual, you know?
I know.
You just have to say, hey, this is a new ritual that I've been thinking of. How would this work? You know?
Yeah.
Make it look like it's yours. And you thought of it.
It's something to look into. At least something to keep quiet to my dad's side of the family until I'm ready to throw out my discovery to the world.
Yeah. Oh. As long as we're not being overly showy about what the fuck we're doing and not say every little fucking detail about everything, we should be fine. Because at least that's how we survived amongst living with humans. And not all of our superiors kind of like it when we... Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's something that probably was going to happen eventually with this whole council thingy.
Yeah.
But it's just happening sooner with us right at this moment.
Exactly.
Well, I always like learning things. And you never know what's going to be useful.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as long as you don't say the source of it and claim that you're the one that made it, then everything will be a-okay. Kind of like making new magic out of old magic that you kind of thought of. Maybe just say it was a feng shui thing, because it makes sense. We kind of have a lot of things based on feng shui, if I think about it.
Isn't feng shui kind of arranging furniture though?
Among others.
It's yeah, the basic principle of it is like align the energy of your house to what it feels right to you, I guess.
There are rules upon rules upon rules upon rules on how to do everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are rules on how to actually make rituals and new rituals and whatever.
There do seem to be rules about everything.
There are rules about everything. I don't think we need so many of them, but you know.
Me neither, but a lot of times rules are kind of a good thing.
Sorta. But not if you're exiled to Hong Kong for it.
Well, yeah, but for somebody that comes from a society that, oh yeah, Brothers Grimm did stories about us, you kind of want to be quiet for a while.
Oddly enough, all of
Hey,
us are
I
quite...
didn't break any rules to get sent here. I just kind of did things that were disapproved of in a non-banned way.
And your older people sent you here before you actually did break any.
Okay, this is even... Oh fuck. This makes a lot less sense than before. But yeah. Oh,
Eh, that's mostly my life in a nutshell. What should make sense doesn't really make sense.
yeah, because if you look at all of how the yin and yang spirits work, your head will have a headache.
If I have a chance to, I'll bring y'all into my try to bring y'all into an area of my world and see how far you get.
Cool.
That would be interesting. Although, more than likely, if it's a yin or a yang expected place of the world, then I might be able to get it by myself. So,
Um.
Out of character, it is yang aspected, but it's a completely different. It's not the same place you're going to. It's a completely different kind of place. Just like how the Umbra the Umbra that the werewolves go to is not the same as the Gleaming,
exactly.
Yeah.
but they
There.
are connected in odd ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the dreaming has into the werewolf's umbra, but Riker does, and he knows Riker knows about them. He just doesn't want to take them because they're mostly fortified by House Baylor.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to say that.
Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to need to go to your nightclub to feed sometime soon, more than likely, because I'll be going low on chi.
What's your preference?
Girls,
Okay. Uh, I got the perfect girl for you. She'll be there about midnight tomorrow night for her
I'm
shift.
good.
Okay. Are you wanting her tonight or do you need her tomorrow?
I can go tomorrow. I don't need
Okay.
her right now.
Okay. Ask for Latricia and tell her Riker is paying her double,
Okay,
and
Patricia
she'll
uh,
and tell her Riker's paying her double, and she'll know what you're wanting.
okay.
And I'll have one of the rooms available open for you about that time. Just tell the bouncers, hey, tell the bouncer your name, and look he'll look you up, and he'll find you, and he'll put you in a room.
Alright. Well, it's a lot better than just buying a lamb and start eating from it.
Well, lamb chops are always nice.
I mean a live lamb and stuffing it for its chi.
Uh, well, yeah, I've seen worse. That's all I'm saying. I've seen worse.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be going because I'm afraid that the sun will be out soon anyway.
Uh,
So,
y- yeah, I'd probably be needing to head back anyways. Uh, I've got a whole mess of books I can binge read until my work shift tonight.
Yeah, and I totally have to research into this chi stuff.
sure.
Well, hopefully I'll see you guys around. And I gave you my email, right?
Yes.
Just scribble on another bit of paper and hand it over to Joe as well.
Okay, takes the paper. Thanks. I'll maybe later. Maybe I'll find some anime that you might like. And with that,
Extra will open the door to the shop, turn up
Yeah.
the lights once everyone's outside, and with a few more button pushes, the door will be locked again. We'll
and
check it by jangling it securely.
yay, and the alarm turned on as
Yep.
it should have been.
Yep.
Oh, Hong Kong, you don't know what's underneath your nose.
Sure.
Hey, I've got Tech 4 with a specialty in security systems. I don't think it's a problem.
Of course not. But anyway, I think we can end it there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good ending. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And enjoy this odd group of amateur novices into the supernatural.
Yay, have pleasant dreams.
Bye.
Bye. Well, that was interesting.